Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, doing our weekly Talk to the Tape segment. A little bit shorter this week, coming out a day early, obviously with a game on Thursday. Real quick, saw you guys' comments. I thought someone made a good point about me dragging on these intros for a little too long, so I'm going to try to shorten these up, get into the tape right away. Basically, as I'm sure you see in the headline, just talking about man coverage and how the Steelers are maybe not playing a lot of man coverage overall. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it's one of the lower marks in the league in terms of total man coverage. But I think it's important to talk about when you play man coverage versus just how often you play man coverage. And I think one area the Steelers do this a lot is in this third and medium, 3rd and 4 plus, 3rd and 4 to 7 yards is kind of the medium distance that I put on it. And you see a lot of man-to-man. So we're going to get into a couple of those examples today. It's going to be a little awkward. I have to scroll down to go through all the plays like we saw last week, but I just want to show you guys these and the different looks that the Steelers are showing. So that was a minute. Sorry. I'll work on tightening this up. But let's get into the first play. This is back in week 1 against Cleveland. This is 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 6. You're going to get a man coverage blitz here. So once the sting rolls through this little chess game, get the nickel corner coming. I think it's Mike Hilton. And then you're going to get man across the board. Overhang defender here, dropping, providing support. Single high safety. Man coverage across the board. The pass goes out of bounds, blanketed. From nowhere for Kizer to go. Pressure gets home, I believe, on this play. Yep, pressure up the middle. Man coverage. Overhang here. Good job to use the sideline as leverage here by the corner. And the pass goes out of bounds. No contest at all. Look at it from the end zone angle. I'm not going to obviously see much in the secondary, but I'll show you the blitz concept as well. Steelers in a dime package. Here's William Gay coming down for Vince Williams. It's very common. Basically anything longer than 3rd and 4. Steelers are going to go dime and take off Vince Williams and bring in William Gay. The nickel corner. Blown protection. You get the guard in the back, both coming on Hilton. Shazier free. This is a Sam generally fire zone, but you're seeing the Steelers now playing some more man coverage behind some of these fire zones. It's not a traditional just 3 deep cover 3 behind that it might have been 10 years ago under Dick LeBeau. Definitely seeing it evolve. I'll show you guys up top one more time. We'll get on to the next play. Alright, so there you go. Alright, next one here. Again, apologize for having to scroll through all this. Game Pass search function is not really kind. For whatever reason, every play says 3rd and goal. I don't know why it does that. Kind of makes it a little difficult to find the right play. 3rd and 4 here. I don't know if you saw 3rd and 4. You're going to get the corners rolled up, pressing, not allowing a free release. And then you're going to get your straight cover 1 here. Man, 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 man. Davis on the back. Single high. And the pass again is incomplete. I wouldn't probably do a deeper dive into exactly how often they're playing man versus zone here. I looked to try to find all the 3rd down incompletions. I don't know exactly how many are defensive because they're lumping the offensive ones into it as well. Probably about 30 something. And then when I went to 3rd and 4 to 7, I found I think 8 plays of 3rd and medium, and 5 times they were in man and 3 times they were in zone. So you're seeing a pretty heavy look to man in those situations compared to how often they play zone overall, which is probably near 80% of the time on any given down. But again, to the play, just straight man coverage, not allowing free release. And you get kind of a variation of their Fire X. A couple of wrinkles that Butler's going to throw in on 3rd down, walking the outside linebackers off the ball. Show you guys the end zone angle here. Here's Walk coming off the ball, and he's going to stunt with Vince Williams and kind of create that Fire X with an outside and inside backer. Stunt around 2. Dupree crashing inside. Hayward sets the edge as the contain guy. Contain guy 2 it here. So you got a lot going on in the rush and coverage. But again, contested throw. Thrown the wrong way, a little miscommunication. Hilton nearly gets it. And the Steelers get off the field. Next one's in the Detroit game. Actually, we have 2 examples from that game. Here is a 3rd and 6. Again, corners rolled up. You get the reduced split so corner plays off. And again, you're going to get more of a two-man look here. Two high safety this time instead of the single high. Trail technique underneath, playing to the inside hip, inside hip, inside hip. Kind of getting man coverage here. Good press. And nowhere for Stafford to go with the football. And Steelers get off the field. Roll it back. Again, pressing. Underneath, taken away by the corners. Anything over the top is taken away by the safeties. Good jam by a lot of these guys here. And you force the ball out into a tight window. And the pass is incomplete. Show you guys the end zone angle again. Again, Steelers and dime. Here's William Gay coming in for Vince Williams. Watt off ball. Again, some of the third down wrinkles. Shazier closer to the edge. They're going to end up dropping Shazier. I believe they dropped Shazier on this play. Oh, no, he ends up kind of rushing. You get Gay on the tight end here. Instead of having to put a guy like Vince Williams, you get a more athletic target in William Gay. Good coverage. Again, trailing underneath. So, obviously tight end down the seam. There's this big Darren Fells, who's a huge tight end. You worry about anything over the top, any of those contested throws. But you hope that your safeties can come over the top and squeeze that throw. Pass gets knocked down by, I think, Alualu, but again, the window would have been super tight anyway to try to get there. Show you guys one more time from the aerial view. So again, I know the numbers show that the Steelers aren't playing a lot of man coverage overall, but I think situational football, some of the big third downs, a lot of times these numbers might be skewed because they're playing cover 2 on 3rd and 10 plus. So, you're not going to get a traditional man-heavy, down and distance there. Some of the 1st and 10 stuff is still going to play more zone, but whenever push comes to shove and you got to make a play, I think you're seeing a healthy dose of man coverage. And I don't think that gets talked about really at all with this defense. Again, I don't have the exact numbers. Maybe that's something we'll try to do after this week with a little bit of a longer week. But I think it's worth pointing out. So 3rd and 6 again, later in the game against Detroit. A lot of stuff going on pre-snap. I think Steelers were checking out of something. Or rolling their blitz. Again, you're going to get man coverage on a blitz concept. You're not going to get your traditional 3 deep fire zones. You still get that sometimes, but again, there's that mix. You're getting 2 DBs coming, but man coverage here. Playing man down the seam. Shazier carrying the Y. Overhang defender here to help squeeze number 1. You got safety rolling over to this side. You got man coverage everywhere. Stafford looks down the seam. Nice shot by Mike Mitchell to cover ground. Rally. Shazier is again trailing underneath. You get Mitchell over the top. There's kind of their trail technique helping out. Again, 3rd down. William Gay in the game. Helps you play more man coverage. You don't have Vince Williams on a tight end or a slot guy or sometimes occasionally the more athletic running back. You're getting the safety and nickel corner blitz here. Not a lot of pressure, but the coverage is good. And again, Shazier, we're getting him athletic matchup on Ebron, the tight end. Again, rather have Shazier or William Gay do it than Vince Williams. Mike Mitchell does a nice job coming over the top. And make sure that pass doesn't land complete. So I'll show it to you guys one more time. Last one I'm going to show, I know it existed because it's one that stayed in my mind. It's not in this search list right now. I'm going to go to the game really quick. I can find where it's at. Yeah, that search function that Game Pass has is not my favorite. See if we can pull up the coach's film for it. Make sure you guys can still see this okay too. Alright, this is not 3rd and medium, this is 3rd and 9, but it's just an example that I had that came to mind, and I wanted to show it to you guys real quick, that it's not just on 3rd and medium, but again, a lot of 3rd downs you're going to get man coverage. And again, you're going to get cover 1, safety over the top. They like to roll this coverage. I think this is A.J. Green. I'm assuming it's A.J. Green up there. So you're going to roll that coverage to make sure he gets taken away. Yeah, that's Green. But, otherwise you're just getting straight man coverage. Actually, there's a safety down here. I think I had my notes. It was cover 1. Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly considered some sort of cover 2. If this is going to be cover 1 robber, you'll get a mix of both. But either way, it's man coverage. You might get a robber. You might, I don't know exactly what they're considering Davis' responsibility on the play. But, again, nowhere to go for Dalton. He's got to take off. Ends up being short of the sticks, and the Bengals have to punt to kick off the second half, and a half where the Steelers defense took over. And, while the Bengals had some drives early in that game, they got nothing in the second half, and the Steelers were able to take a 14-14 game at the break and win it, I guess comfortably, you could say. You get a little issue with the contain. I talked about that, I think, last week, some problems there. But, when Dalton's ready to take off, there's just nothing available to him. It's all taken away. Now Dalton's rolling away from his strip side. So that's the point I wanted to show, was that I know that there's a lot of talk about not using enough man coverage, and where I thought we were going to run a lot of man, and I get those questions quite a bit. I'm not Pro Football Focus. We chart a lot, but we don't chart coverage. So I trust their numbers that the Steelers are one of the teams that uses man coverage the least. I assume that's true, but like I said, situationally in the big critical get-off downs, I've seen the Steelers run a lot of man coverage, and it's been really effective, and that's what I care about. If you run it 50% of the time, but you don't do it in the crucial situations, then it doesn't really matter how often you're doing it. In my eyes, it's about running it when you need it the most. That's the most important thing. That's the biggest change-up. I think Steelers have been successful with it, so I wanted to make that point, and I wanted to show some examples because of it. And again, in third and medium, that's their bread and butter, where they're going to run a lot of man coverage. It's such a critical situation. Third and long, you run zone. That's fine. You don't have to run man coverage. Play the sticks, play zone, eyes on the football, rally and tackle the catch. So I don't care about playing zone 90% of the time in 3rd and 10 plus. That's totally cool, and that'll skew the number. 1st and 10, I get it as well. 2nd and long, you might play a lot of zone. I get it. So I don't like to look at the raw number necessarily. It's fine to look at it, but I think there's context that's going to be missing some of those big aggregate numbers. And I think if you look a little bit closer, you see this team is running a lot more man than they have in the past, and situationally, it's worked really well for them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comment section below. Whether you're watching on YouTube, follow me on Twitter at Alex_Kozora, Kozora, or if you're reading this on Steelers Depot. Appreciate the comments, appreciate the feedback. If you have something else you'd like us to look at, probably not going to do another one of these before Thursday's game, because the schedule is going to be too tight. But for future stuff, if you have any broader topics you want us to look at, I'll keep it in mind, and we'll try to do something with that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.